Hello, how you guys doing? James here. Well, hope you're doing good and well and everything is prospering. Well, this is time I want to do something different. Um, I'm gonna break the stereotype about entrepreneurship, particularly in the black community. But first, just to play this video, and then I'm gonna show you something negative first, but I'm gonna show you something positive and about black businesses. So let's see what this woman said about black businesses. This Asian woman.
Out of HD, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them.
So I'm back again with another tweet from an Asian woman, Diane Yap. I did a story about her once before, but she seems to be really fixated on the black community. Now, she was responding to someone who was responding to someone else who made a statement, I'm paraphrasing, about Asian restaurant owners catching rats and, using them in the restaurant. And then the person that Diane was responding to said, well, that'd be such a bad business model because in essence, it's cheaper to just buy chicken than it would be to go around catching rats, to serve up and all of that. And so Diane said this. Right. No wonder they have to rely on Asian-run businesses in their neighborhoods if this is any indication of their business sense. So she's basically justifying why Asians need to be in our community and that we rely heavily on them and that we have no business sense. Well, let's keep it a buck, Diane. We know why you guys are in our neighborhood because y'all know, and I kind of agree with her to some degree on certain things, but she knows that it's easy money. They know they can set up shop in our communities and they don't have to do a whole lot of advertising because we are just going to go in there, right? And also, we know that there's not a lot of other options in black neighborhoods like black grocery stores and a whole lot of good black restaurants and clothing shops and just all the other stuff that we would need to survive, right? So they set up shop in there. And the other thing, Diane, that you were not mentioning is y'all people come over here and y'all get a whole lot of help, whether it's governmental loans and just favor in general, right? The government looks favorably on y'all and they help y'all succeed in addition to giving y'all bills specifically for y'all, right? So as far as our business sense, yeah, there's a little truth to it, but it's not as much true as it is for the people in your community that don't have good business sense, right? Now, we should have businesses in our community, and I think that we would if, for one, we are not still suffering rather from the results of slavery. Now, I know some people are saying, well, slavery has been over a long time ago, but if you follow Dr. Joy DeGruy, she talks about post-traumatic slave syndrome and that we are still suffering the effects from slavery, right? And so we don't have the unity that you have, Diane, in your community where you guys can practice group economics and all those other things. And so there's a lot more going on than y'all have to just set up shop in our neighborhood and we rely on y'all. First of all, some of the stuff y'all have in our neighborhood, in fact, I would venture to say most of it is not good for us and you know it. And as I said too, no shade to anybody, just me personally, now living in the South, I never really heard of a chicken and rice house until I got to the South and they're kind of like everywhere. So I asked somebody, I'm like, well, what's going on with the chicken and rice house? And they said, oh, they give you a whole bunch of chicken and rice and it's really cheap. And I'm like, people eating there? Because I'm not one to want to eat cheap food, especially if they give me a lot of it. Now, I'm not saying that they're serving, rats or anything like that. That I am not saying. But even if it's chicken, it's like, is it quality food? I would venture to say it's not quality food because if it was, then they would bump up the price on that stuff and they wouldn't be giving you a whole, tray full where you couldn't even close the tray up. And so, again, Diane is speaking about things she has no knowledge of, but I tell you what, Diane, if you have a problem with anything that's going on in the black community, you should tell your people, close up shop and go serve chicken and rice in your neighborhoods. So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra K Show, here on YouTube. Peace.
Wow, that's really interesting. But I want to show you something about. She said that black people have no business sense, huh? I beg to differ.
Switch to
I beg
Google
to
Fi
differ.
Wireless and
Watch
get
this.
Simply Unlimited. Our most affordable unlimited.
She probably don't know about black people.
We get down to the beat, y'all. We get down to the beat, y'all.
Hello and welcome back. In this Black Excellist series, we will highlight the oldest black businesses in America. Welcome to Black Excellist. This is where we celebrate black excellence, achievement, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you. Black businesses are rich in history. From newspapers to banks to restaurants and more, black-owned businesses are an integral part of American life. Today, black men and women own 2.6 million businesses across the United States, roughly 9.5% of businesses in the country. But which ones have endured the longest? Join us on a captivating journey through time as we unveil the untold stories of resilience, innovation, and perseverance.
So, Diane,
In today's
this-
Black
they don't have
Excellist
business sense,
exclusive,
right?
we
Watch
explore
this.
the oldest black-owned businesses in America while uncovering the remarkable legacies and enduring spirit that have made these establishments a vital thread in the fabric of our nation's history. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Philadelphia Tribune. Founded in 1884, founded by Christopher James Perry in 1884 at just 28 years old, the Philadelphia Tribune began as the Weekly Tribune, a one-page effort spotlighting African American interests in Philadelphia. Starting from a one-man operation, Perry's newspaper gave a much-needed voice to an underrepresented community. Evolving from sales to reporting, Perry's labor bore fruit, aiding employment during the Great Depression and exposing racism in New Deal policies. Today, the Philadelphia Tribune stands as a respected news source and a multimedia storyteller, representing the African American experience.
Not a business sense?
Number 2.
Sure.
E.E. Ward Moving and Storage, founded in 1881. Before the Civil War, John T. Ward helped slaves escape to freedom through his role as a conductor on the Underground Railroad. His home in Columbus, Ohio, the Ward House, was known as one of the main pit stops on the historic path to freedom. In 1881, John and his son founded a wagon transportation business operating in downtown Columbus with just 2 horses and a wagon. The company has persisted for more than 140 years, and today it operates 3 different locations. By 2019, E.E. Ward in Columbus was averaging over $5 million annually, employing over 50 full-time workers, focusing on residential and business moving and storage. In 2003, the U.S. Department of Commerce recognized E.E. Ward as the oldest African-American owned business in America. Number 3. Afro News. Founded in 1892, the Baltimore Afro-American, commonly known as the Afro or Afro News, is a weekly African-American newspaper published in Baltimore, Maryland. It is the flagship newspaper of the Afro-American chain and the longest-running African-American family-owned newspaper in the United States. The Afro-American rose to national prominence while under the editorial control of Carl Murphy, who served as its editor-publisher for 45 years. The paper's influence continues to shape the political social order and provide a medium for citizens to voice their opinions. Number 4. McKissack & McKissack. Founded in 1905, Moses McKissack and his brother, Calvin, are the grandsons of a slave who would go on to start their own architecture firm. The company made history in 1942 when the U.S. awarded it a $5.7 million contract to build an airbase in Tuskegee, Alabama, the largest federal contract given to a black-owned business. McKissack & McKissack recently celebrated its 100th anniversary of their founders becoming one of the first Black American licensed architects. Today, the company continues to construct new buildings for airports, universities, museums, hospitals, and more. Number 5.
Chicago Defender. Founded in 1905, Robert Sengstock Abbott founded the Chicago Defender at the age of
We
34.
business sense, right, Diane?
Born to freedmen parents in Georgia in 1870, Abbott moved to Chicago and then earned a law degree from the Chicago-Kent College of Law in 1898. In 1905, Abbott started the Chicago Defender in his kitchen with an initial investment of 25 cents. Within just 5 years, it expanded its reach beyond Chicago and became the most popular black weekly newspaper in the country. Today, the digital-only Chicago Defender is owned by Real Times Media, a company that also owns other black newspapers throughout the country. Number 6. Atlanta Life Insurance.
Another black-owned
Founded in
business?
1905, Alonzo Herndon, the founder, was born into slavery in Georgia in 1858
These inferior
and
people
freed
did
after
that?
the Civil War.
Not educated?
At the age of
They did
20,
that?
he set out on his
Sure.
own with just $11, working as a farmhand and learning barbering. He opened his first barber shop
What?
in Jonesboro, Georgia, then moved to Atlanta in 1882, where he opened 3
No, not
upscale
black
barber
people.
shops.
No.
As
no.
he accumulated wealth, he purchased real estate, becoming the first black millionaire in Atlanta.
No,
In
not the inferior
1905,
people,
Herndon
because their skin complexion, not these people.
Is that
It's my support animal.
No.
It's payroll.
black millionaire in Atlanta.
No.
In
Can't be.
1905, Herndon purchased a burial association and 2 other
Black people
insurance
did this?
companies, which he then merged into Atlanta Life Insurance Company. Atlanta Life Insurance was a key financial institution during the Jim Crow and pre-civil rights era, offering low-cost insurance to black Americans. Number 7. Mechanics and Farmers Bank. Founded
had a
in
bank.
1907, entrepreneur
Black
John
people?
Merrick, a former slave, founded Mechanics and Farmers Bank after establishing
Black
another
Americans?
long-running, minority-owned
What?
company in North Carolina, Mutual. In 1907, Merrick
We're
and
not
6 other
business,
men
right?
established this bank on Black Wall Street, a 4-block district
business
of
sense.
black-owned businesses in Durham that thrived during the Jim Crow era. By
Oh,
2019, the bank had over $262 million in total assets. Number 8. R.S. Lewis & Sons Funeral Home. Founded
Black
in
people?
1914. This funeral
they
home
got a
is
funeral
part of a
home?
special and
No, not the
tragic piece of
inferior
American
people.
and civil rights history.
No, not inferior
Upon Dr.
people.
King's assassination, Coretta Scott King
thought they were
trusted R.S.
educated
Lewis
enough.
and Sons with the preparation of Dr. King's body for the memorial service. Their team worked diligently and meticulously for 13 hours straight to ensure that the slain civil rights icon was in the best condition possible. The company is not only a trailblazer on the business front, but they have also become known for their civic leadership in the city of Memphis. Number 9. Citizen Trust Bank. Founded in 1921.
Another bank by black people?
In the late 1910s, Heman Perry went into a shop to be fitted for a pair of socks and was refused because he was black. This led to him and 4 other black men, known as the Fervent Five, to form a bank so
look.
black people could find
The
financing
dark people
for their
got a
own
bank.
shops.
The black
In
people.
1921,
Only black
the Fervent
Americans.
Five opened Citizens Trust Bank with $500,000 in capital stock. In 1948, Citizens Trust Bank was the first black-owned bank to join the Federal Reserve Bank.
Black
Today,
people did
it
that?
owns a whopping $429
No.
million in assets. Number 10. The Parker House Sausage Company. Founded in
Sausage
1926. The Parker House
Black
Sausage
people did
Company
that?
is one of the
They
oldest
ain't got no
black-owned,
businesses?
continually operating
Really,
family
Diane?
businesses in the country. It started small, with Judge H. Parker, who moved from Tennessee
Oh,
to Chicago,
a
selling
black
sausage
person.
links from a horse and carriage
black
in
American.
1919. In
What?
1921, Parker
No.
bought a plant and some refrigerated trucks, and in 1926, he bought a new headquarters on South State Street in Chicago, where it remains even today. The business sells several different kinds of sausages that can be found at big box stores like Sam's Club and Walmart.
What?
Number 11. Chicken Shack. founded in
And
1935.
Chicken Shack.
Chicken Shack started as an ice cream shop in 1935, but founder Tommy Delpit switched business plans and created Chicken Shack 2 years later. His son Joe took over the business at 18 and later became the first black person to sit on Baton Rouge's city council in
Baton
1968, where he remained in office for 16 years. Today, Chicken Shack is a mini franchise with 3 locations in Baton Rouge. Number 12, Omaha Star. Founded in 1938. The Omaha Star is the nation's first black female founded and run newspaper. Under the banner Joy and Happiness, the Omaha Star has focused on bringing positive, progressive news to the African American community in Omaha since it was founded by Mildred Brown. Her reporting on the civil rights movement even earned praise from then President Lyndon Johnson. Today, the newspaper is distributed to 48 states and has never missed a single issue.
To this day? Black people?
Number 13, Dookie Chase. Founded in 1941, Dookie Chase Restaurant is one of the most famous restaurants in New Orleans, renowned for its Creole cuisine and its late owner, Leah Lang Chase. The restaurant was founded by her husband's parents, Emily and Dookie Chase Sr., as a bar and sandwich shop in the Trem. Leah would transform the restaurant into a fine dining restaurant, helping her earn the nickname Queen of Creole Cooking. Leah worked at the restaurant until her death in 2019, at the age of 96. But the restaurant is still operated today by members of the Chase family. Number 14, Ebony Magazine. Founded in 1945. In 1942, John Harold Johnson published a magazine that he intended to be akin to the Reader's Digest for black people. He was only 24 years old, but was able to lead the operation to a monthly circulation of 50,000. Seeing this success, Johnson founded Ebony, a black lifestyle magazine, in 1945. Johnson envisioned Ebony as a news and photo magazine patterned much after Life magazine, but specifically designed for African American readers. By the beginning of the 21st century, Ebony's circulation had reached almost 2 million and helped spawn Johnson's sister magazine called Jet. Number 15, Four-Way Restaurant. Founded in 1946. One of the oldest restaurants in Memphis, this restaurant was established by Irene Cleaves and her husband.
Black people? Black
Best
Americans
time to
did
get
this?
Reese's. Anytime. I also accept all the time.
You mean
This restaurant was established by Irene Cleaves and her husband, Clint. This soul food eatery is located in the neighborhood of Soulsville, near downtown, and during segregation, it was a safe haven for many of the civil rights leaders. Icons like Dr. King and Jesse Jackson frequented the restaurant as it served as a meeting place. Additionally, music legends like B.B. King and Aretha Franklin have eaten here. Four-Way has grown a lot over the years, progressing from a little kitchen in the corner of a pool hall to a full-fledged restaurant. Number 16, Carver Federal Savings Bank, founded in 1948. Carver Federal Savings Bank opened under the leadership of Moran Weston in 1948. Weston already had earlier experience as the founder of a credit union. The bank applied for a federal charter after the state had denied it a charter and opened in a simple storefront. Carver Federal Savings Bank is now focused on helping black homeowners obtain first mortgages, and today it's the largest and oldest continually black-operated U.S. bank.
Black-operated.
Number 17, KPRS. Founded in 1950, KPRS, the first African-American owned radio station west of the Mississippi, was founded by Andrew Skip Carter in Kansas City. Struggling against racial barriers, Carter, an FCC licensed engineer since 1947, realized his dream of a station featuring black artists. Today, this urban contemporary radio hub plays hip-hop, R&B, and gospel music. Recognized by the FCC as the oldest continually African-American family-owned radio station, KPRS has excelled since 2012. Today, it ranks among Kansas City's top 3
Kansas
stations
City.
and holds a strong position among the highest-rated urban formatted stations in the nation. Number 18, H.J. Russell and Company. Founded in 1952. H.J. Russell and Company, founded by Herman J. Russell, originated from humble beginnings, where he learned handyman skills while working for his father's plastering business. After graduating from Tuskegee University in 1952, he started his own plastering company, which evolved into a
plastering company.
multifaceted enterprise. The company has since grown into one of the largest African American owned construction companies with extensive experience in building and renovating airports, entertainment venues, sports facilities, cultural, retail, office, higher education, multifamily residential, and institutional
Black people
facilities.
did that?
Number 19, Dean's Beauty Salon and Barbershop, founded in 1956. Established by husband and wife Benjamin and Mary Rose Dean in 1956, this barbershop and beauty salon is one of the oldest continuously operating Black-owned shops in the country. The salon has experienced successive changes to the surrounding community, changes to the urban fabric of Portland, and changes in black hair care and styling trends. After the couple transitioned, the operation of the salon was transferred to the couple's daughter, Gloria Ella Timms. The beauty salon and barbershop was listed in the National Register of Historic Places in 2022 due to its connection with African American business in the aftermath of the Second World War. Number 20, Ben's Chili Bowl. Founded in 1958, for 62 years, Ben's Chili Bowl has drawn celebrities, locals, and
Oh my
tourists,
God, that was a
offering
black person.
authentic flavors, a family-friendly vibe, and a rich history. Started by Ben Ali and Virginia Rollins in a former movie house on U Street, Washington, D.C. in 1958, it endured tumultuous times. The restaurant survived the civic unrest of 1968 race riots, endured the challenges of the surrounding area falling into decline during the 1980s, and weathered the storm with the passing of its namesake in 2009. Ben's legacy lives on through his wife, Virginia, who visits daily at the age of 90, while her sons manage the business. Number 21, Marcus Books. Founded in 1960. Originally opened in San Francisco, Marcus Books is the oldest black bookstore in America. In 1975, the owners established an Oakland location, which is still thriving today despite many
Wow.
obstacles. With a core mission to foster celebration and education about black culture globally, it serves as an inclusive haven, resonating with the diverse spectrum of black identities. Marking its 60th year, the store proudly curates a vital collection spanning children's literature, classics, bestsellers, cookbooks, history, poetry, biographies, and graphic novels. A testament to its commitment to enriching minds and honoring the multifaceted narratives of black lives. Number 22, Sylvia's Restaurant. Founded in 1962. Sylvia's Restaurant, an iconic Harlem establishment, has served soul food for 60 years since founder Sylvia Woods purchased the restaurant with $20,000 in 1962. The restaurant's legacy as a hub for politicians, musicians, and locals is a testament to Sylvia's nurturing of both food and community. The restaurant has been the go-to destination for politicians, athletes, musicians, Harlemites, and tourists alike, with Sylvia becoming a celebrated figure of New York City and nicknamed the Queen of Soul Food. Number 23, One United Bank.
Another bank
Founded
by
in
black people?
1968, One United Bank, the nation's largest black-owned bank, has a rich legacy with roots dating back to 1968, with the founding of Boston-based Unity Bank and Trust. Established by a black graduate of Harvard Business School, the bank had a mission to serve the black community. Today, One United Bank is the result of unifying several community banks across the country. It is flourishing, currently holding assets totaling approximately $660 million. Its founder's vision fuels an unwavering dedication to bridging economic gaps and promoting financial literacy among Black individuals and businesses. Number 24. Dorsey's Art Gallery,
Black people
founded
own
in
a gallery?
1970.
An art
Dorsey's
gallery?
Art Gallery stands as the oldest Black-owned art gallery in New York City. Founded by Lawrence Peter Dorsey, an adept framer mentored by an elder in art framing, he acquired the gallery in
Yep, that's a
1970.
black guy.
With a zeal for amplifying new artists of color, Dorsey aimed to integrate art within the community. Through commissioning masterful artworks like paintings and murals, Dorsey contributed to institutions like the Brooklyn Children's Center and Kings County Hospital. His mission rendered Black art inclusive, fostering a hub for artists and collectors. Number 25. Black Enterprise. Founded in 1970, Black Enterprise was birthed out of the mission to serve as a business magazine for the Black community. Its inception was the brainchild of Earl G. Graves Sr.,
I don't
a
see that
visionary
magazine no
entrepreneur
more.
who
I
led
like
the
that
company
magazine.
through an illustrious 5-decade journey. The publication has consistently emerged as a premier fount of wisdom for entrepreneurship and small business pursuits. Today, Black Enterprise stands as a multifaceted, multimedia enterprise, encompassing print and digital magazine editions, complemented by compelling television programming. While founder Earl Graves Sr. bid farewell in 2020 at 85, his enduring legacy lives on through the adept guidance of his son and successor, Earl Graves Jr. We appreciate the fact that you stayed until the end. Thank you for...
Now, for the black diaspora, this is the city you should go to.
So beautiful, so soft and warm. Girls' cardigan and pleated skirts.
Unlock a world of possibilities as we unveil the 10 best cities for Black Americans to thrive and flourish. From the multicultural haven of Houston to the progressive charm of Seattle, embark on an exciting journey towards the perfect place to call home. Number 10, Houston. Houston, the incredibly diverse and vibrant city in Texas, shines as the epitome of multiculturalism, not just in the Lone Star State, but across the entire United States. This thriving metropolis of 2 million souls is a melting pot of ideas, a haven for embracing diverse perspectives, and a sanctuary for fostering inclusivity. Houston embraces progress and provides a fantastic opportunity to connect and collaborate with the progressive Black community that constitutes a remarkable 23% of the population. Prepare to be captivated by the city's social scene, as it boasts hotspots like the Spot Lounge and Bar, the Alley Cat Bar and Lounge, Lost and Found, and Rise Rooftop, where unforgettable memories are made. Moreover, Houston beckons as a place to call home, with affordable housing options that surpass the national average. Discover the best Black neighborhoods, including Pearland, the Woodlands, and Sugarland, where you can settle down and bask in the joy of community. Number 9, Columbus. Columbus, Ohio, a city that welcomes and embraces Black families with open arms. Settle into a place where exceptional public schools await, providing a nurturing environment for your children's growth and success. The best part? Columbus offers affordability that surpasses expectations, making dreams of homeownership a reality. Delight in a cultural extravaganza that unfolds throughout the city, enticing Black families with its vibrant tapestry of attractions and events. Immerse yourself in the soulful melodies of the annual Jazz and Rib Fest, where jazz performers from every corner of the nation grace the stage.
It's nice.
Uncover the rich tapestry of Black history and culture at the esteemed National Afro-American Museum and Cultural Center. Columbus,
nice.
Ohio beckons with its irresistible charm, promising an idyllic haven where affordable living, outstanding schools, and cultural wonders converge to create the perfect place to call home. Number 8, Washington, D.C., Washington, D.C., a city that pulsates with boundless opportunities for Black individuals. From budding entrepreneurs to seasoned professionals, this city offers an expansive ocean of chances for success. Immerse yourself in the world of knowledge with esteemed universities like Howard, George Washington, and Georgetown, shaping brilliant minds for tomorrow. DC not only fills your pockets with prosperity, but also nourishes your soul with its thriving nightlife, captivating museums, and awe-inspiring sights delve into its rich history as the first majority black city in the U.S., where dreams soared and barriers shattered. Though the demographic has evolved, the spirit of the Chocolate City lives on. Unleash your inner partygoer at hotspots like Bliss Nightclub, Club Timery, and 18th Street Lounge, or savor the flavors of black-owned culinary gems like Ben Chili's Bowl, Busboys and Poets, and Mr. Braxton Bar and Kitchen. Number 7, Oakland, Oakland, a city intertwined with the rich heritage of black Americans throughout its remarkable 167-year journey. From its humble origins as a railroad town to its present-day status as a bustling port city and tech hub, Oakland owes much of its success to the contributions of black communities. Now, Oakland yearns for the return of its vibrant black population, which once stood on the brink of majority in the 1980s. While the past decades have witnessed a decline in black residents, the city holds the promise of resurgence. Explore the hallowed grounds where the Black Panther Party was born, and immerse yourself in the echoes of West Oakland, once known as the Harlem of the West, with its lively nightclubs and bars that adorn the vibrant Mandela Marketplace and the West Oakland BART station. Number 6, Raleigh. Raleigh, a city that consistently shines as one of the top havens for black families. With a thriving black population of 28.90%, Raleigh embraces diversity and inclusion at its core. This vibrant city boasts a booming job market, where numerous industries beckon with rewarding career prospects. Excellence echoes through Raleigh's schools, accompanied by an array of after-school and extracurricular programs, ensuring that children remain engaged and connected to their community. Offering affordability beyond compare, Raleigh's cost of living delights, comfortably resting below the national average. Step into a community with a long-standing tradition of warmth and acceptance, where everyone is welcomed with open arms. Number 5, Baltimore. Baltimore, Maryland, a city that consistently shines as one of the most coveted havens for black families. With a rich history steeped in black cultural and political life, Baltimore beckons with open arms. Embrace the power of knowledge at esteemed institutions like Morgan State University and the influential Baltimore chapter of the NAACP. Discover a strong black middle class that thrives within its vibrant neighborhoods. Experience the excellence of Baltimore's public schools, offering an exceptional education for the young minds of tomorrow. Delight in the affordability that this city provides, allowing families to build a life of comfort and fulfillment. Situated in close proximity to Washington, D.C., Baltimore offers the best of both worlds. An ideal location for black families to be near their loved ones while reveling in the benefits of a central metropolitan area. Number 4,
my goal is to bring a tradition of quality and good taste to all the places we call home.
Montclair. Montclair, one of New Jersey's wealthiest cities, where prosperity thrives and opportunities abound for black individuals. With income levels soaring around $200K, Montclair stands tall as a haven of success and promise. Within its population of nearly 40,000, a thriving community of approximately 10,000 black Americans thrives, leaving an indelible mark across various professions and industries. While some residential segregation exists, with wealth concentrated in North Montclair and a significant black population residing in South Montclair, the undeniable progressiveness of this city shines through. Moreover, its close proximity to the vibrant metropolis of New York City adds to the allure. Montclair beckons, a haven where dreams can take flight, and success is within reach for black individuals seeking a prosperous and fulfilling future. Number 3, New York City. New York City, the ultimate destination for those craving the fast-paced life. With a staggering black population exceeding 3 million, this concrete jungle stands tall among the best cities for black individuals. Engage in the lively debate between Harlem and Brooklyn, both offering awe-inspiring experiences that ignite the soul. While the Bronx reigns as the birthplace of hip-hop, it seeks to rise even higher. New York City presents a thriving job market, an endless stage to showcase your talent, and a melting pot of cultures to savor. As the city that never sleeps, it has long been a sanctuary for the black population, offering vibrant neighborhoods like Bed-Stuy with its extraordinary concentration of black residents. With the recent election of a black mayor, a modern Harlem Renaissance takes flight, adding a new chapter to this city's remarkable narrative. For black individuals ready to embrace the vibrant tapestry of NYC's single life, the possibilities are boundless. Number 2, Virginia. Virginia, a hidden gem that shines as a haven for black families. Embrace the vibrant tapestry of diversity and acceptance woven into this welcoming community, where highly rated public schools lay the foundation for your children's success. Discover a plethora of affordable housing options, nestled near the mesmerizing shoreline, offering the perfect backdrop to raise a family. Virginia Beach beckons with a world of recreational delights and cultural treasures, captivating black families with its allure. Immerse yourself in the wonders of the Virginia Aquarium and the Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art, where adventure and creativity intertwine. Number 1, Seattle. Seattle, a city celebrated far and wide as a haven for black families. Known as the Emerald City, Seattle boasts a rich tapestry of social justice and racial equality, standing proudly as one of the nation's most progressive urban centers. Settle into a community adorned with excellent schools and educational programs, offering a solid foundation for families to flourish. Immerse yourself in Seattle's vibrant cultural scene, where the arts come alive and black families can revel in a myriad of creative expressions. From world-class museums to groundbreaking theater companies, Seattle caters to every artistic inclination. Beyond its cultural allure, Seattle captivates with its scenic beauty, inviting families to partake in endless outdoor adventures. That's all for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content. Thanks for watching.
Well, that's an interesting look on the towns, but the reason why I wanted to show that, and I kept on making remarks like that, because of that video. Because you have a lot of people that think that black people didn't do nothing, didn't invent nothing, didn't start something, and still some black people are still thriving in business in different cities and states. So that's why I showed that video. Because sometimes you need to show a positive aspect of black people instead of the news showing you that they being, whatever they show you. And that's why, there's some black people got some brains that's trying to do the right thing, and are making it despite all the obstacles against them. They still manage to come through, despite some government not helping them like they help other people, despite discrimination in every aspect. You can't think of a people that still thrive. Sometimes I'd be astounded some of the things, like, man, because you look back at the history, like, man, and you was up to America, you think that things were given to black people. They make it say they just laid around, they just collected, but that's not true. Black people have always tried things, that succeeded in the midst of things. Like it's just amazing. How can you not proud to be black? I'm just saying. How can you not proud to be black? And it's a sad thing is that the images of TV and the images of sometimes certain religions make you dumb you down and think that something's wrong with your skin color. You gotta be of a certain class and stuff like that. And I'm just, sometimes I look back like, dang, black people did. I'd be sometimes be shocked. Like they go in, there's an individual as a black person goes in area despite getting run down, getting talked about, getting mocked and everything, and you still come on through. And I'm just, and everything you build up since the 1900s, they still standing. It's like, my God, you gotta respect a people that they throw everything at the book at you, and they still standing. Black people still will stand in the stand of a storm and don't run. And they don't run. That's why I said, I'm like, man, you could be proud of a race of people, despite what they show you on TV, the stereotypes and stuff. Dang. The stereotypes and people believe in the doggone stereotypes. That's what's really sad about it. And they scared of people that they really think don't know. And they show a different version of somebody. And it's just that you never get to know the individual. Like, ew, get away from those people. You know? And it's like, damn, why does someone not like me? All because of the complexion of her skin. And some people don't just say it with their words. I always say people always show with their actions. But this should encourage other black people in other places around the world that what black Americans have done. And they won't ever show you they won't ever show you that yeah, there's someone on the other part of the globe have conquered, and despite all the obstacles, there's a God that's with them that pushed them through their perseverance. That's basically, it's amazing, man. I mean, sometimes I'd be amazing of our people. That's just, I'm just like, sometimes it shocks me. Like, whoa, shit. And yet they don't want to be, then they copy your style, they copy your inventions, they copy everything. Then they try to invent that they did it. No, we're the superior ones over them. Like, what the? How is that possible? You didn't do anything, You know? Yeah, but yeah, it's just amazing. Despite what some people have been through. And just all because I always said because of a person's skin color. And so let me play this video right quick. And she made this one made a good point.
Here is my little 2 cents that nobody asked for. I am sick of seeing black Americans in the media, on social media, in the news, doing crime, walking around next to naked the women, the men perpetuating gang violence, substance abuse. The absolute worst of our community is oversaturating the media, even though they make up a small percentage of all of black Americans. The decay of our morality within black communities has been slowly declining over the past 20 years, and no one is talking about it, no one is saying anything about it or trying to address it. And if you do, you are often told that you're policing black bodies. If you say black women, stop getting on the internet and in the media, twerking, walking around with little clothes on. People tell you that you're policing bodies, policing black bodies, or it's respectability politics. If you are black and you speak your piece on what we're seeing in the media, if you don't like seeing the low morality that is often portrayed about the black community in the media, from the trap music to the black women twerking in music videos and all over social media, the Suki Hanas and the Sexy Reds of the world. If you are black and you take issue with it and you talk about it, you are usually called bourgeois, sadiddy, uppity, it's respectability politics, you're policing black bodies and the like. And it's like, no, I'm black too. And as such, this being my ethnic culture as well, I have a right to have something to say about what I'm seeing going on. Your average black American is a middle class, working class, blue collar Jane and Joe. The the ghetto subculture, black ghetto subculture that we see often portrayed and over inundated and oversaturating the media, those black Americans make up a tiny, tiny percentage of black Americans as a whole. But somehow they're in the media, overcompensating in the media, oversaturating the media. I know I don't just speak for myself when I say that I'm sick of seeing it, that it's gross, that it is destroying what black culture actually is. It's co-opting black culture as a whole and making it seem as though all of black culture is ghetto subculture. I'm not the only black American who takes issue with it. Because like I said, majority of black America is middle class, not in the ghettos, not out here perpetuating gang violence, promiscuity, and everything else. And I don't care if you claim it's respectability politics. I guess so be it. Because this is gross. It's getting really gross out here how blatantly disrespectful and low class we're acting on social media and in the media, on the internet, on TV. And you can claim that this is someone else's set of moral standards, but no, it isn't. It isn't. Look at black America in the 50s, in the 60s. Our moral standards back then drastically different from what we have today, or what we're convincing ourselves is a moral standard today. Every racial group on the face of the planet has their own ghetto subculture within their respective racial and ethnic groups. This is the case for everybody, everywhere. White people, Asian people, Mexican people, you name it. The difference is that those racial groups and those ethnic groups do not allow their ghetto subculture to co-opt the entire culture as a whole and to represent the entire culture as a whole. They don't allow it. Everybody else within that respective ethnic group or cultural group or racial group has a right to say how they want to see themselves represented in the media, what they want to see and what they don't want to see, who gets to speak for them and who does not. Except for when you're a black American and you have something to say about the way that you see black Americans being portrayed in the media and you have a critique for your peers. You can't do it because it's respectability politics if you attempt to do it. Or you're judging your peers by a set of moral standards that somebody else created, which is a farce. From the Reconstruction era down through the 60s, black Americans had their own set of moral standards and social protocols that we adhered to. Ask your grannies, ask your great grannies, they'll tell you. I have had just about enough of seeing black culture being drugged through the muck by other black Americans who are perverting it and turning black culture, something that is beautiful, into something perverse. Showing their ass on the internet all the time. The men are constantly rapping and talking about gang violence. Our children are uneducated and stupid. We've created a cultural standard of promiscuity and single motherhood, and when a black American goes to critique and judge our peers, our fellow black Americans, and critique the condition of our neighborhoods today, they're shut down. That's respectability politics. You're policing black Americans. If that's what it is, so be it. So be it. It needs to be said. And in order for us to attempt to escape accountability or responsibility on our own part, we claim that the conditions that we see in black communities is being caused by somebody else. It's not our own fault, it's white people and it's structural racism or something or another. It's everybody else's fault except for our own. Give me a break. It's pitiful. It's pitiful that we refuse to take accountability for the things that we see going on in our communities. And sure, we can acknowledge that structural racism and the history of slavery in this country and discrimination and Jim Crow and black codes and all of that has played a part in the conditions and some of the conditions that we see in black communities. But we also have to be responsible for the ways in which black Americans create their own conditions and contribute to the degenerative effects that we see going on in our communities. Black Americans who don't want to hear that immediately run to innocence. They rush to innocence. They claim that it's respectability politics to call out these issues in our community. They claim that it's policing black bodies to call out the low morality and the moral decay in our community. Call it whatever you want. You're not going to get me to shut up about it. I'm black. This is my culture too. I have a right to talk about and critique what is happening in my culture and have something to say about it. That's all.
Racism is...
Wow. Now you need to understand why when it comes to business.
For Hype Plus, I'm Tatiana LaJoy. Black-owned businesses are unprofessional. Many people in the black community have either said or thought this at one point or another. This statement stems from various experiences that ultimately lead to them spitefully banning black-owned businesses from their shopping, date night outings, or self-care expenditures. In 2021, the growth in black spending power reached $1.6 trillion, which doubled since the year before, yet our wealth has fallen by 14%. This means that 99% of our buying power is spent outside of our community. These statistics imply that black people know how to make money, but we do not know how to keep it. The black dollar stays in our community for 6 hours while it stays in the Asian community for 28 days.
Well, it's actually a couple of things. For one, we could seem that we're rude and it's not all about good customer service.
That's a problem. Why am I spending my money with you and you're too sensitive to even take the criticism necessary needed?
Is that they're so expensive, which I can understand. Certain people or certain places, they kind of had you over at a price.
Hate. That's all I can think of is hating, just because of the fact that they see one person doing their thing, it's hard for them to congratulate them.
There has to be a reason why black-owned are the only businesses that are blackballed by their own community. You don't see this sort of attitude in other ethnic communities. Could it be because of systemic oppression, personal irresponsibility, deep-rooted psychology, or is it all of the above? Here's why black people don't support black-owned businesses. A common frustration among many African Americans is our constant appropriation of our culture. We are so proud of our culture because of everything it represents: strength, vitality, perseverance, and flavor. There is no denying that black is beautiful. But if we truly believe this, why do we not profit on our culture as much as other races do? One reason for this is because we lack trust within our community. According to supportblackowned.com, there are even black business owners that choose to not support black businesses. When asked why, they answer that black-owned businesses are unprofessional and no others besides theirs should be supported. But where does this unprofessional stereotype come from? Let's start from the bottom and determine what it takes to start a business. It takes a lot of effort to start a business, and it begins with market research. Market research involves gathering data to learn about target audiences so that a business owner can determine factors such as the demand, market size, and market saturation. Knowing these things can help a business develop a strong foundation so they can have growth and longevity. After that work is done, a business plan needs to be made, which is based on all of the market research that has been done. This plan can either be traditional, which is usually dozens of pages long, or a lean startup, which is typically about a page long. Next is figuring out the best way to fund your business by first determining how much you will need and figuring out which is the best method to get that money, whether that be through bank loan, crowdfunding, or investors. Depending on what kind of business you have, the next steps vary and include choosing a business name, structure, and location, and registering your business. This is the bare minimum to start a successful business, yet many black businesses do not invest the time to establish a strong foundation for their company. One of the biggest complaints is that black businesses are hard to find. This is a clear indicator that most of these businesses do not take enough time to do market research or organize their finances to allow for advertising budgets. Advertising is important for businesses because it drives growth by targeting the right audiences and attracting paying customers. Getting customers is important, but keeping them is crucial. We live in a time where there is an abundance of small businesses and it's very competitive. Creating customer loyalty is the key to continued profitability for any successful business, and the best way to create customer loyalty is to have great customer service. This might be the biggest culprit of unsuccessful black-owned businesses. Many customers complain about unprofessionalism, with stores being closed during business hours, business owners or employees with bad attitudes, and unapologetic bad service. Most black people want to support black businesses but don't want to deal with the headache. At the end of the day, bad business is bad business, no matter where it's coming from. YouTube user at Natural Life wrote, I desperately want to support black businesses, but I can't. Case in point, I live in Metro Atlanta. There are Asian nail shops and black-owned shops. I've gone to Asians mostly, but now I refuse to give them a dime of my money. I tried going to black-owned, but they have no clue how to run a business. I go to an Asian shop. I'm in and out in an hour or less. Black-owned, I was in there 3.5 hours. Asians smile at me and ask, what color you like? Black-owned roll their eyes and acted like I was bothering them. Very rude, gossiping with each other, cursing, etc. I just do my own nails now. I miss the Asian shop, but refuse. We do not understand how to run a business, many of us. Always running out of supplies, etc.
My money is valuable to me. Treat me with respect and do a timely good service, and I will support your Black-owned business. This is not to bash our people, but more so to take ownership of what is lacking and how it can be improved. Black company owners have a tendency to put minimal effort into their company and expect to be treated like businesses that do put the effort in. In this era where being woke is very prominent, many Black-owned businesses will rely on being Black-owned as the main reason why they should be supported. When they aren't supported, defense is the first reaction when it should be an opportunity for introspection and growth. But let's also talk about the Black-owned businesses that have done the work. They know their target audience, they spend money on advertisement, and they have a solid business plan. But some of these businesses suffer based on the bad stereotypes created by the less successful Black-owned businesses. There are two theories that may explain this. One is the crabs in a barrel mentality that our community unfortunately adheres to. The Black community simply has more haters than other communities, and that's why there are no Black communities like Chinatown, Little Italy, or Little Russia. The reason being is most Black people come from poverty-stricken backgrounds and tend to glorify hood attributes, being gangsta, hard, etc. If you are an individual that wants to rise above the stereotype, most Black people will tear you down or ridicule you. There's many cases of Black parents being jealous of their own children. It hurts people to see others succeed because it shines a light on their own insecurities. They'll say things like, "You think you're better than me," if you happen to be doing better than them because you worked for it. It's a slave mentality passed down through generations, epigenetics. Another theory is generational trauma. In his 1952 semi-autobiographical novel, Go Tell It on the Mountain, famous African-American author James Baldwin asked, "Could a curse come down so many ages? Did it live in time or in the moment?" The trauma of slavery has been carried on throughout generations of African Americans and is manifested through poor health and poverty. We are aware of the residual effects of slavery that we see in our community. A more recent example of generational trauma would be the riot of Tulsa's Greenwood District. In 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma's Black Wall Street was one of the most successful African American communities in the United States. However, on May 31st, 1921, an African American man named Dick Rowland was accused of attempting to rape a white woman named Sarah Page. The white community did not want to wait for the investigation to happen and instead took matters into their own hands by lighting 35 blocks on fire, injuring 800 people and killing 300. This tragedy resulted in 9,000 Black people becoming homeless and destroying a community with a remarkable school system, indoor plumbing, banks, hotels, and contemporary homes. The state of Oklahoma had only 2 airports, yet 6 Black families owned their own planes. The average income of African Americans in that community exceeded what minimum wage is today. Caucasians didn't realize that their segregation actually empowered us as a community. Since we were no longer able to shop at white establishments, the Black dollar circulated in our own community and Black businesses flourished. Josie Pickens records in an Ebony article that lower-class white people in neighboring areas were undoubtedly jealous of this affluent Black community and felt the need to put progressive, high-achieving African Americans in their place. The financial power afforded to the Black community could not save them from the racial hostility at the time. Whites resented the fact that Blacks no longer passively accepted second-class citizenship in what they perceived as their land. The district newspaper would call the Black community things like Little Africa and In-Town. They labeled them as bad ends who drank booze, took dope, and ran around with guns. They created a narrative that the Black community was predisposed to crime and was in need of social control. This narrative helped them justify their actions of deadly violence towards the Black community under a shield of reprimands. The newspaper even suggested that the KKK could help restore order in the community, which in fact, the agency behind their order was to suppress the power that they felt the Black community did not deserve. Portraying Blacks as criminals helped enforce a violent racist ideology. Following the riot, the mayor planned to redesign the community for industrial purposes. Essentially, it was a geographical problem because the government viewed that area as an ideal location for business expansion, so they brought down land prices and established white dominance in the area. Hannibal Johnson, author of The Black Wall Street, From Riot to Renaissance in Tulsa's historic Greenwood District, explains that neither the survivors nor their families ever received the reparations suggested by the Tulsa Race Riot Commission. In an interview on The Breakfast Club, founder and CEO of the Wealth Factory, Angel Smith, expresses how we have been robbed of our reparations. Blacks were defeated during this time to know that their beloved community was so fragile and their perceived power seemed fickle compared to that of the elite and lower class whites. Essentially, the black community was deboned by the white community, and that trauma still lives today. Is this why black businesses don't have a strong infrastructure today? Is there an inherent fear that any success we have can and will be taken away by envious people with more power? It wasn't just Tulsa. Race massacres also devastated communities in Georgia, Arkansas, Michigan, Mississippi, and Florida, just to name a few. As Martin Luther King put it, when Negroes assertively moved on to ascend the second rung of the ladder, a firm resistance from the white community developed. The black dollar circulating within our own community was a threat back then, and systems were put in place and narratives were spread to prevent it from happening again. That oppression is still relevant today and lives in our subconscious as a community. It's shocking how many people are unaware of the traumatic past of African Americans. This trauma is intergenerational and once realized can help combat the toxic patterns that we see in our community today, such as the crabs in a barrel mentality. As Jay-Z once said, crabs in a barrel, but crabs don't belong in the barrel. And they ain't never tell us that. So in the barrel, we're gonna act like we act. We can easily get out of the barrel if we stand on each other's backs. Whoever gets on top, as long as they stay attached, they're gonna pull everybody out. I was doing just that. According to Angel Rich's research, it's going to take at least 250 years for us to catch up with our counterparts if we do not practice group economics. This is why it's so important to educate our people, especially our youth, on the importance of group economics to help close the wealth gap. Angel owns an app called Credit Rich to help people round up their spare change and intelligently optimize their credit score as fast as possible. There's also a directory called blackbusinessgreenbook.com where consumers can find black-owned brands from home goods to clothing and art, photography, and food. Black Nation is another app that can be used as a resource to find black-owned businesses wherever you are. These are just a few resources that can help keep our money within our community and make us stronger for generations to come. If we really want change, let's start by taking some of the actions mentioned throughout this video.
So, there you have it right there. I'm going to say this. Also, as she did mention, you got to learn who your enemies is. And you got to not let other and have discernment. How did these outside entities infiltrate and turn and use and try to manipulate? There's a segment of people that so-called gave the inward culture with the sagging pants, immaculation of the black male, having to wear dresses. You have to look at all that too. But there's a segment of people that still does it, so black people have to come as a collectively to stand against that. Because they feel like these entities around still doing it. They're in certain areas. So they know how to control the image. That's another thing. And that's what we're fighting against, an enemy that's used by the devil to control the image of black people. This is the truth. And that's why you see your Sukihanas and all of them, because there's an enemy behind it that's promoting it. That the degrading of black people. That's supposed to degrade them all around the world. And they use the public platforms to do it. No matter if it's on TV or on whatever. And sadly to say it, they'll reward you, these individuals, millions and thousands of millions, to thousands of millions of dollars to degrade themselves and to keep the stereotype going. So you got that working against you. So that's the reason why it's in the image. And so when we think of an image, they're the one that gave us the paper bag test. If you're light skinned and dark skinned, that goes back to the plantation. Yeah, we got some serious issues, and it still resonates till this day. And the generations later, that's why you see people saying that. Everything you see among us is resonate from the past. They're absolutely right. The crabs in the barrel comes from the plantation. You being educated, talk with how intelligent comes from the plantation. All this, so we got a degradation that, depleting yourself as a people. We want to keep a stereotype, so we let the other world know and other nations know that these people, the dark complected people, were not highly intelligent, were not articulate. This was the meaning for this video, to show you from the beginning, but also have to show you what was the problem and have that woman speak on it. So now you know. So anybody get this from a different part of the world, if you're outside the United States, now you know the whole truth. Because subconsciously, when there are indirect racist people that wants to keep the image going, but they'll be friends with black people, and they'll move a jig with black people, but they don't like black people, just to help destroy black people, and they have to use a black person to do it. That's your greatest enemy, and it comes from Satan. That does it. A person that does that comes from Satan, from evil. And some black people don't have the discernment to see that. They think it's fun. They think it's entertainment. But in the end, you helping people keep the deterioration of black men and black women down. This is what the first young woman was trying to say. That's what she was saying. But some men and women, young men and women, black men and women, have said, "Oh, hey, you just ain't keeping it real." That's how and they've been sold into this. So they said it's okay to act raunchy and be loud and ruckus and dress ruckus and disheveled and ignorant and curse and be that way, because that can confirm the end. What that word they put on you, the N word, matches that. People don't understand. Words are very powerful. And even though you say that, I know that don't apply, but they used the N word in a way years ago to describe it in their version of shiftless, lazy, and ignorant. They taught this to generations. And just stay away from those people. Why? They're shiftless, lazy, and ignorant. This is the truth. So that's why they come at you a certain way. And they do in every phase of life as far as social status. But I'm here and the reason why I showed you this video is because this is who you are. This is what you come from. Of the young black men, black women. This is who you are. You're not like those rappers or those women that dress ratchet. And you try to make that fast money, but it's going to lead to a fast grave or the fast prison system. That's what they're trying to do to you. They want to keep the inward mentality of people that look like us in the grave or to the prisons. That's to come down to it. And the people are getting rich off of it. People are getting rich off of your debauchery. They're honing your culture, the greatness of your culture. That's what the last one was saying. Do you understand how it looks? So you got to think outside the whole picture. And some black people have reached this. They see the whole picture. But they got to understand. Now the thing about it is turn on your God-given sense and let the Most High show you. And get connection with the Most High to show you who is the real enemy behind us, making us look like with degradation. He'll show you. Because they can't, once he show you, they ain't going to come and hide and shut him off. Because he owns everything in the planet outside the universe. That's all I got to say about that one. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was educational. But this is who you are. in the beginning. But this is the problem, what you have, the why you're not growing. Because you gotta love yourself and honor yourself and honor your people. Then when you do that, then other people respect you. But to that, you gotta find out who's the enemy is keeping you divided. Who's working with the devil. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Share, like, and subscribe. Till next time, take care, be blessed, and be proud of where you stand. Don't be ashamed of your skin, where you come from, where you came from. You're a people of greatness. You just gotta believe it. Take care.